This is where shit gets weird. And on the flight down, my parents thought it was a good idea for us to sit together. Again, she was touching my leg, then started talking about going to the bathroom together, etc., basically gradually grooming me and inching the sexual nature of our relationship closer. After a red-eye flight, we arrived at an apartment owned by my grandparents and crashed there for the night. For some ungodly reason, my parents decided that Nicole and I should share a bedroom while my siblings slept on the couch and my parents slept in the bigger bedroom. Still to this day, I can't understand why they let me sleep in the same room as a grown adult, but I guess they really trusted her. She convinced me to come over to her bed. I kissed a girl for the first time, and she removed her top. I don't remember the whole conversation, but I know that I was guilt-tripped into doing it. Fast forward, so after the Caribbean incident, things started to ramp up a lot. She would forcibly make out with me before I would get on the bus to go to my middle school, where I had a really hard time as well. Would threaten telling my parents and would say every guy in your school would be jealous, so why would you want me to stop? Eventually my parents planned a trip by themselves in early spring. This is when Nicole started mentioning that we should have sex and that I should trust her to lose my virginity. She bought condoms and showed me where she kept them in the lead up to my parents' trip. I felt really torn. She was telling me that every boy would dream of this, even to this day this is the common thought, but I knew it was wrong. She was pressuring me and I felt trapped by her. My parents left, and the first night my siblings got to sleep in my parents' room. Nicole pressured me to have sex, but I denied her, saying I felt it was wrong and that we shouldn't be doing this. She yelled at me and might have hit me a couple times in the arm and went to her room and locked the door. I remember crying at 11 a.m. pacing between her room and mine, not sure what to do. I went to sleep, and the next day is when it happened. I got to sleep in my parents' room the next night. I remember I was watching South Park and she walked in. She said that we were going to have sex now and proceeded to get undressed. I couldn't feel anything honestly, and she forced herself on top of me. Being young, I didn't have control over my body, so there was nothing I could do. She left after I finished and told me congratulations or something, and I cried myself to sleep, alone in my parents' bed. Stay tuned for part 3.